To be or not to be? That is the question. What is the question? My thoughts on IQ. Let's get into it. Salutations. I'm Savvy, and welcome to the first episode of Shakespeare and Socrates State Soliloquies. If you read the title and thought, wow, that's a mouthful, well, that was its purpose. It's alliteration when you start a group of words with the same letter or same sound. And Shakespeare used that a lot. So, the question of the day, should or should not an IQ determine the real intelligence of a person? What is an IQ? For those of you who might not know what an IQ is, it stands for intelligence quotient. And basically, they make you or any other person take a series of standardized tests, and based on your score, they assess how smart you are. They give you a quotient based on your score. And the average person is around 100, and if you're a genius, you're probably over 140, I would guess. I think the scale only goes up to 200. But anywho, IQs I personally don't really agree with, because they're standardized tests. If you're familiar with bubble tests that you take at the end of every year just to assess how well you're doing and to get statistics for the national average. Personally, I don't think I test too well in certain things, certain areas, and for some reason I am good at quantitative reasoning on those tests, but I am not good at reading comprehension or grammar mechanics, but in real life, it's the opposite if you check my grades. But that's not the point. IQ tests supposedly tell how smart you are. So what if you're not a good test taker? That's what I find really not good about these tests. Same with standardized tests. Sure, they can show on paper that you're smart, but maybe you're just a lucky guesser, a really lucky guesser, or maybe you just have really good logic. But my personal philosophy has always been, you can't call a person smart in just academics or in just certain. My personal philosophy is you can't just call someone smart or not smart. Someone might be really great at academics, but they're not very social, or someone is amazing at soccer, let's say, but they're not too good at math. And I feel like people have different ways of being smart. Someone might really know how to play ball well. Someone might be a very great artist, but just not do well with numbers, or grammar, or literature. And I think that's the problem with an IQ test. Just judging someone based on how well they can fill in bubbles in a matter of time, it doesn't really tell you how smart they are inside. Some people, you can't express what you actually think just by filling A, B, C, or D. So IQ tests in my book don't judge a person, because a person can be trained for these tests, but that doesn't mean they're essentially smart. IQ tests are meant for people who, I believe, are very good logically and numerically. And for those type of people, if you've ever taken an IQ test and you didn't get what you want, let's say you got less than 100, well, sure, maybe on that test you didn't do well, but maybe you're just not a good test taker, or maybe you just don't connect with that. I think every person has their own way to be smart, to be intelligent, and you don't need a score telling you if you're better or worse than someone. So, go ahead and take that IQ test if you want to, but just know that there's more than one way to be smart. And that's it for today. To be or not to be.